How many times have you asked the question, what is going on with Joe Biden? I think everyone noticed that he started to behave himself in a very weird way last year. He's forgetting what he said just a minute ago. He's moving in a very weird way, and he's not even able to bind two sentences together. Especially comparing it to the way he was speaking even 4 years ago on his debates, we can make a very sad conclusion. He might have dementia. And today on GG Medical, we are going to talk about the most common cause of dementia worldwide in older people. And this is the almighty Alzheimer's. So we all know that the brain is composed of two types of the cells. It is the structural units, neurons, and the supportive units, which are called glial cells. Neurons are basically the main functional units, actually structural units of your brain, and the glial cells simply are the ones who are supporting them, helping them in their metabolism, cleaning out some debris or something like that, like microglial cells synthesizing myelin for them, like oligodendrocytes, and as I said, the supporting ones, for example, are astrocytes. And there are a couple of different more glial cells, which we do not essentially need to go over in this video. Let's move on to what happens in the Alzheimer's. In those neurons, normally, we have a protein which is called APP, amyloid precursor protein. And also, one more protein that I would like to stress before we move on what happens to the Alzheimer's is microtubule associated protein called tau. And as we know, microtubules are just basically cytoskeletal subunits for the neurons. So the protein associated with them is called tau. What happens in the Alzheimer's now? Tau and amyloid precursor protein are clustering together. So do tau proteins for reasons we don't need to go over in details. They are basically clustering together, and amyloid precursor protein are clustering in something which is called amyloid sheets, beta pleated sheets or beta amyloid. And tau are clustering in something which is called tangles. Both of these are damaging the neurons in a way we don't know. The scientists are still researching on this. How does it damage the neurons? But basically it leads to death of the neurons and obviously loss of the interconnection between the neurons. Because obviously if you lose a neuron, you can't have a connection with the neuron next to it. So now the brain starts to gradually decrease in size. It is becoming atrophic. Those sulci in the brain become thicker and the brain tissue shrinks down. And the main area affected is the hippocampus. Hippocampus, as a part of limbic system, is involved in things like learning, memory, thinking, decision-making, language, and stuff like that. And now the logical bond, I hope, is starting to build up. And now I think that you can answer the question why Joe Biden is behaving himself in such a weird way. But it actually doesn't affect only him. It is a very common problem worldwide nowadays. And older people are affected most commonly. Sometimes this might be the reason why old people are forgetting things, because the first sign of the Alzheimer, number one sign of it, is loss of memory. It might be partial, it might be complete, it might be loss of episodic, it might be loss of short term. Any type of memory loss is already a suspicion for the Alzheimer in the older people. And nowadays the scientists, thank God, are trying to figure out the ways how to monitor the development of the Alzheimer's, monitor the levels of the development of these different plaques and clusters of the different proteins inside the brain cells in order to make the proper prognosis, diagnosis, and treatment strategy for the patient. And one of the main risk factors for the Alzheimer, by the way, how you can prevent the Alzheimer, and we're going to conclude with this, is brain activity. Yep, it is really basic, but brain inactivity is a number one risk factor for the Alzheimer's. There are some genetic factors that we don't need to go over, for example, like different alleles of apoprotein E, but the way how you can prevent the Alzheimer most effectively is keeping your brain active. Read books. Don't spend your time on phone. To go do something useful, go use your brain. And we're ending it here. Please join our channel. Please subscribe to it because our journey has just started. And many of you are not commenting on the video. You are following, you are watching. Some of you are even not following. Follow and comment, please, because the comments are going to push us even more. And obviously we want to hear the feedback from you. How do you think we delivered the information? Was it useful for you? And stuff like that. You know what to write. I don't need to tell you this. Write it, please. So I'm finishing it here, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Dear ladies and gentlemen, it's Gigi Medical here, and I would like to offer you something a little bit different. We opened a community on the website which is called school.com. It's a medical community in which the access is absolutely free. When we have different discussions with the students, getting to know students better and students know better about us, we actually offer a very individual approach to the students of the first 3 years of medical universities. They actually have the opportunity, you have actually the opportunity to book the consultations with me or anybody else from my team in order to help you in subjects like biochemistry, physiology, pathology, anatomy, histology, and many others. Any subject you would like to. I hope that our experience is enough to give you all the help that you need. So please feel free to join. The link will be left in the description. Otherwise, you can just text me personally on my Instagram and I can give you the link directly so you can join the community and get the help that you need. We are very free to help you. Please don't hesitate to text me personally, and I'll see you guys soon.